actually have 2 bonus recommendations. So hey fam, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Empowering Creativity, where I empower others to live purposeful lives through creativity.
I know I said I was going to start a series called Be Empowered today, but I'm actually still working on that. So instead, I'm going to share with you 5 Christian books that have really helped me in my faith journey.
It was actually really hard just to choose 5, but I decided to sort of split them up. So none of these books are actually apologetics books that have helped me. I've decided I'll probably do a separate video for the apologetics books that have helped me. Now I'll just be doing the books that are not apologetics. Some of these books you might have never heard of before, but that's okay. And some of them you might have heard of before, or maybe you've even read them before. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these. Lately, I've been reading your responses to my Instagram question, which was, what Christian books are you reading lately? And man, oh man, some of these books, I'm like, I really want to read these books. If you have any more suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know. You can also find the link to all of these books down below in my description. You can find them on Amazon, where if you want, you can order a physical copy, or you can get the Kindle version as well.
One of the things I really like to do as a creative practice is write, and so I do have a blog. I try to post once a month, but if you visit my blog, you'll see that I haven't actually posted since March, but I do hope to be writing more at some point.
And so a lot of things that inspire my writing, especially on my blogs, are Christian books, and so I thought that, yeah, that's another reason why I wanted to share 5 of the books that have really helped me in my faith journey, because I do write a lot about them in my blogs as well. If you have a blog or love to write, I'd love to know about it. You can just put it in the comments below and I'll check it out. And let me know what you love to write about and what inspires you to write. I've just felt like I've really learned a lot from these specific Christian books, and so I wanted to kind of share with you that. Some of the books that I have are physical copy, but then other ones I do only have on Kindle.
So what I'll do is I will show you the ones that I have a physical copy of, and then I'll just go through my Kindle with you and show you little aspects of the books and what helped me in my faith journey about the books. And yeah, I'll just show you my Kindle version of those books.
So without further ado, I will be going through them in order of the sequence that they've helped me in like each season of my life. First one is called Unshaken. Okay, first off, can we just appreciate how clean my desk looks right now? Like, that never happens. It's actually so clean right now. And I am not ashamed of any of the other books there you see in my Kindle. If you have any questions about them, feel free to ask. So, like I said, the first book that really impacted me is called Unshaken by Jeannie. It's spelled like Jeanne, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Jeannie Negro. And my mom actually saw her speak at a conference in Pennsylvania. It was for Messianic Jews. My parents aren't Messianic Jews, but they go to like this conference in Pennsylvania every summer usually. Obviously not this summer because of COVID. But anyway, what I love about this book is that, sorry you can't see the table of contents too well there, but in the table of contents, the book starts out as talking about lies that we believe about ourselves and about God, and it goes through Bible verses that sort of debunk those lies, and then it talks about spiritual warfare and how to use spiritual warfare to denounce those lies and get rid of them in your life. And it's really helpful. It was really helpful to me when it was after I had gone through a breakup of dating a guy about 3 years. And if you haven't heard my story, you can listen to my testimony by clicking on the link up above or by clicking on the link in the description below. But what is super cool about this book is that not only does it talk about those lies and how to do spiritual warfare, but then it goes on to talk about how you can stay unshaken during very shaky times by learning about the Jewish feasts. And so it goes through each of the Jewish feasts. You can see Yom Kippur there, and it talks about the importance of knowing these biblical feasts. which sounds a little bit weird, but she talks about revelations and how we actually really need to be preparing for end times. And so, yeah, if you read the book, you can learn more about it. It was really such an amazing and impactful book in my life. The next book I actually got at that retreat I was telling you guys about in my testimony, which again, you can find in the description below. It's called The Missing Commandment, Love Yourself. And it doesn't mean love yourself as in like be selfish. It's talking about that verse in the Bible that says, love your neighbor as yourself, and how you cannot love your neighbor if you don't love yourself first. But this isn't just any sort of like self-care kind of love. It's actually loving yourself through God's eyes and seeing yourself the way that God views you. And so what I love about this book is that there are questions after every chapter, reflection questions, and I personally love reflection and sort of like action questions, application questions. Sometimes when it comes to Christian books, I'm like, oh, I don't want to just read it. Like, I want to do it. I want to put it into my life. And so this book has that. And as you can see, there's this one activity called the Inner Child Picture Exercise. I loved that one. It's really about connecting with yourself, like with God, and including God in that connecting and like reconnecting with your inner child. And so definitely recommend this if you need to go through some sort of healing. If you've had a super rough childhood, not that I've had a super rough childhood, but this has helped me with some lies that I picked up in my childhood about God and about myself. And so, yeah, highly recommend this book.
Third one is boundaries, and I do have the physical copy, so I'll just show you that now. It is, I've talked about it before in one of my other videos about how to live purposeful relationships, because to live purposeful relationships in any life setting like work, home, family, you need to be able to put proper boundaries in place. And so this book has really helped me
in establishing those boundaries, especially with myself too. I often go back to this book, especially because I find that I have a lack of boundaries with myself. Like, I need to have better self-discipline and things like that. And there's actually a section called Boundaries with Self. So that this book has really helped me, and I love having the physical copy because I often just like go back, like flip through it, and it's easy to find things. Like I've said before in my other videos, highly recommend this book. The fourth book is Mingling of Souls, and this is by Matt Chandler. It is a book that probably most of you have heard of because Matt Chandler is a pretty well-known pastor, author guy. Anyway, this book changed my perspective on marriage. It just really, I would really recommend this book to someone who is dating, because it goes through the different phases of like initial attraction and then dating and then courting, the wedding bells, getting married. One of the chapters is actually called Wedding Bells. And so, yeah, I would really recommend this to someone who is looking to pursue marriage in some sort of way. I really think that this was such a godly book that is really helpful. And last but not least, we have The Next Right Thing by Emily P. Freeman. I have read her books before. Well, one of her books called Simply Tuesday. That was really good, but this one impacted me more, I think, because this book also has application questions at the end. Chapter 2, Become a Soul Minimalist, was one of my favorites probably. Same with chapter 6, Being a Beginner. It was just a really good reminder, really good way to reflect. I actually read this book right before I went into ministry in Montreal, and it was just really refreshing. A lot of Emily P. Freeman's books are just really refreshing. It talks about the importance of reflection in anyone's life. And the last chapter there, Wait with Hope. As if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that hope is one thing that I sometimes have a hard time like
feeling. I guess I have a lot of hope for meeting Jesus one day, but then sometimes in life, I just get really down on myself and I'm like, oh, there's no hope. And so this last chapter was really refreshing for me as well. And I definitely recommend that book. I know one of my friends is reading her book right now called Grace for the Good Girl, and she was telling me that that one's also really good. But yeah, highly recommend The Next Right Thing by Emily P.
Before we finish this video, I actually have 2 bonus recommendations. So one of them is this book called More Precious Than Gold. It is so good. It talks a lot about identity. I absolutely love about this book is that it uses a lot of other perspectives. The author, Sarah Evangeline, I actually know her, and she went out and she asked other women to share their stories. And so there are a lot of real life stories from women in this book. And so I would recommend this for any teenager maybe going through some sort of an identity crisis and not really sure how to pursue their faith. This is key. I love this book. And something that I'm reading right now is called Gospel Culture. You might have seen me post this on my Instagram, which if you're not already following me, my Instagram is @empowering.creativity. I also met the author for this book. Unfortunately, this one is not, I don't think this one is on Amazon, so there's no link for it, but if you look up Joe Boot or the Ezra Institute, you'll find some resources that they have there. I'll put the link for the Ezra Institute down below. The Ezra Institute is an organization that teaches young people apologetics, and they have kind of like retreats and centers that you can go to, and I've been to the building and it's beautiful. They have a beautiful property along the Niagara Escarpment, and the work that they're doing for the Lord there is absolutely amazing. So I highly recommend, if you live in the area, check it out, and also check out their website.
So yeah, let me know if you are going to purchase one of these books, or if they sound interesting to you, or
also let me know what your book recommendation is. I've said I love reading Christian books, and so tell me about a book that has really impacted you and your life and your faith journey, and I'd love to check that book out. Let me know in the comments below, okay? Thank you so much. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Bye!